Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Tribune Sports Live. Week 4 is in the books. Area teams go 2-1 over the weekend. He's Alan Taylor. I'm Zach Steele. Alan, any surprises this week?
Well, I think the biggest surprise was Pinson Valley losing by such a big number. Gardnerell's got a great team, but was really surprised by that.
Another big surprise, maybe the Hewitt Huskies go over and just take care of business at Vestavia. I was a little surprised at that halftime score, 28-0.
Yeah, they jumped out on them and then let up a little bit. But I'm telling you, this Hewitt team's getting better every week.
Weather played a big role in some of the games this week. You'll see when we talk about the stats. Not much passing, a lot of running the football, and everyone was just kind of trying to take care of the ball with the weather.
Yeah, Friday night it rained just about at every location. It was sloppy, and really the team that could take care of the ball was going to be the team that was going to be victorious in the close games. And so not a lot of throwing the ball this past Friday night, but some great games.
When we come back, we're going to talk about the Hewitt Huskies and their big region victory against Vestavia.
At Bryant Bank, we focus on you. You'll never have to worry about being just another number in the system. When you're a member of the Bryant Bank family, our Bryant Bankers will work to understand who you are, where you want to go, and how we can help you to get there. We're big believers in developing relationships with our customers, and we value friendships we make along the way. Bryant Bank provides unbeatable service and legendary results. Bryant Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
It's big. I mean, obviously, Coach Anderson and what they do at Vestavia Hills, and everybody knows about them. They're a great, historical program, and Hewitt's never beat them before. And so for us to come out here and get the first victory in Hewitt history, it's a big-time honor for our kids. They've earned it. They worked hard. We knew you were going to have to overcome a lot when you come here. When you come here, you're going to have to overcome a lot to win the game. And our guys did that, played well. We kept our focus the whole game and came out with a win.
Basically, their mentality on offense is they run the whole clock down, and then they try to punch the ball in. So then we were just – after what they were doing, we just tried to do the same thing they did.
Yes, sir. I think we came out a little flat just because that big lead. I think we just had to regroup ourselves and get ready to keep going.
Welcome back. The Hewitt Huskies went on the road to Vestavia Friday night, jump out to a 28-0 lead and cruise to a 28-12 victory. Alan, pretty impressive for the Huskies.
Great win for the Huskies. This team is getting better and better each week. And what I love about Coach Floyd's offense is we can throw the ball, but we can also run the ball, and he showed this week weather conditions were just terrible. Didn't throw the ball very many times, but the Huskies took to the running game and ran the ball extremely well Friday night.
Well, the Huskies gave Vestavia kind of a dose of their own medicine. Vestavia known as a power running team. Hewitt comes in. They only throw 5 passes during the game. They rushed for 220 yards by halftime, and really just pretty much took care of business. Well,
the game was really put away at halftime. By halftime, really, especially in those weather conditions, the game was over. Zach Thomas only threw 5 passes. He made good use of them, completed 2 for big gains, and but really the running game, 220 yards at halftime, just a great effort by the running game.
Well, we talk about Zach Thomas and Jerry and Street a lot, but one of the things that's not mentioned enough is how good this team is in the trenches. The offensive line, we thought maybe a question mark going into the season. They are steamrolling people right now.
They really are, and again, this offense fits those guys. They're quick. They move around a lot. They pull and get out and get blocks in open space, and that's what's really made them successful. But this is a good offensive line. They've come together as a team. They're playing well.
And the defensive front 7 may be one of the best in the state at this point. You have to make that argument because they are really shutting down people's running games.
Boy, if there's one better, I'd hate to have to – I hope we don't play them. These guys really across the front, and our linebackers really are just playing great football right now, and I think they're going to continue just to get better.
The secondary also improves. A couple of picks in the game the other night. And, really – we have to start talking about what's the ceiling for this Husky team at this point.
Well, I think when they entered the season, they were talking about an opportunity to win a championship. I know it's difficult in this region, but I'm going to tell you this team is good, and they're going to continue to get better. And, with a bounce of the ball their way here or there, I think this team has a chance to go pretty deep in the playoffs.
Well, when you look around the region, Hoover struggled the last 2 weeks against Mountain Brook, and then again this past week against Oak Mountain. Spain Park, got out of the gates a little slowly against Tuscaloosa County, held on for the 24-0 win, but all of a sudden the Huskies may be a front runner in this division.
Well, this week may tell the tale. Spain Park over there, I think it is this week, and
actually it's at home.
It's at home, so we play them here, and that's really going to be another big challenge. Of course, every week in this league is going to be a challenge, but this Spain Park's a good team. They've improved since game one, and so this will be a big game for the Huskies Friday night.
And that game is at home against Spain Park. When we come back, we're going to talk about ClayChalkville. They went on the road again to Huffman and got a big victory. We'll be back.
Trussville Vision Care is now proud to offer sports vision training for athletes. This sports-specific training improves hand-eye coordination and reaction time. As a former college athlete, Dr. Steele knows how important perfect vision is to succeed on the athletic field. For athletes, 20/20 vision is not enough. Trussville Vision Care.
Well, we went down and scored on the first drive, and that was big. And then we got another stop, and then a couple of drives later we got another score. So at that point, it opens up a lot of stuff for us. Brandon continues to show that he is a mature football player, and A.J. Walker did a fantastic job tonight. I was very proud of both sides of the ball. I thought it was a quality effort.
I just saw the ball in the air, went to attack it, went to the sideline like Coach told us to. Saw him coming, shook him, ran, just used my speed and just scored the touchdown.
All right, welcome back. ClayChalkville went on the road for the 4th straight time. That's kind of hard to believe. And they get a big victory over Huffman, winning 41-7. They go up 31-0 at halftime. Allen and cruise to the win.
Again, ClayChalkville strong, 4-0 and have not played at home yet. That's incredible, which means they're going to close out the season at their home stadium. And so I just look for this team just to keep getting better and better.
Well, they had some problems defensively the previous week against Hillcrest of Tuscaloosa. Gave up 450 yards rushing to one player, but they seem to have gotten that straightened out against Huffman. In the first half, Huffman 35 yards rushing on 19 attempts, and they were also 1 of 5 passing on 6 yards. So I'd say that's making a statement.
Well, Hillcrest is a good team. I mean, they have a good offensive team, and they put some yards up. But I have a feeling Coach Hood got those guys' attention this week on defense, and you saw a much better defensive team this week with Huffman, with ClayChalkville against Huffman.
The Clay offense, again, doing their thing. Brandon Berry had 100 yards rushing on only 8 carries. Ty Pigram's numbers probably not as good, affected by the weather a little bit. He was 6 for 14 passing, had a touchdown pass, 60 yards passing. They got a big rivalry game this week coming up with Pinson.
Well, the weather was a factor in this, as it was just about every place this weekend. Weather really slowed down ClayChalkville's offense. Did not throw the ball very much. Ran the ball pretty effectively, but again, wet field. But they took care of the ball. They did what they had to do. And you're right. It's a big region game this week as Pinson, as they take on Pinson.
All right. When we come back, we're going to talk about that Pinson game and how they regroup. We're also going to have the weather forecast for you and hopefully a little bit better weather for Friday night. We'll be back.
Tribune Sports Live is sponsored in part by State Senator Senlate Blackwell of District 15. Senator Blackwell represents parts of Talladega, Shelby, and Jefferson counties, including the Trussville area. A former high school and college athlete, Senator Blackwell is pleased to promote our local schools and student athletes. As football season gets underway, it's time to say, go Huskies, go Cougars, and go Indians. Here's to a successful and safe year for all who are involved with high school athletics in our area.
Well, things are looking good for this Friday night's kickoff weather. The highs Friday will be in the upper 80s with high humidity levels as well. The temps may be back in the upper 70s by kickoff with lows expected in the 60s. Overall, a great night for high school football.
They took it to us. We didn't do a good job. They took it to us. So my hat's off to them. We got to get better. So we'll get better. So.
Do you look at it as stuff you can improve on and get ready for next week? Or?
Yeah, we got to tackle better. That's coaching. We got to tackle better. We'll get it fixed. Our kids will bounce back. have full faith in our kids. So, tonight was a major setback, so we got to take a major step forward. We got a good group coming next week. So.
Do you think there was any overlook or anything like that?
No, I thought we were ready. I just thought they came out and jumped on us, and it kind of took the wind out of our sails, and we didn't respond. So, made it 14-7 right there at half, came back second half, big kickoff. We didn't score, and it was like, dang, it was like, I don't know, it's just, there's a bunch of things I can point to. It's just we didn't play good. So.
Pinson Valley hosted Gardendale last Friday night, and the Rockets really came into town and took it to Pinson Valley, winning 42-13. Alan, a little surprised at that score.
Yeah, I am. Again, we knew Gardendale has a great team. They are strong. They have quarterbacks back, running backs back, and they played well against Hewitt Trussville second week of the season. They have a great team, but I really am surprised how well they played or how they dominated Pinson Valley.
Pinson could not stop Gardendale's running game. Gardendale 444 yards rushing in this game, and really the Pinson Valley defense had no answer.
Well, again, good running game over there, good running back, and they are strong. Their offensive line plays well, and that's really the strength of their team is their running game, and they really turned it on against Pinson Valley.
Pinson running back Torrey Hendricks didn't have a bad night, 89 yards rushing on 21 carries, but he just never could get it going and make that big play. Yeah,
and Pinson Valley relies on that, and so when their running game wasn't working quite as well as Gardendale's, that really, and especially with the ball being so wet, they couldn't throw the ball. When they couldn't get the running game going, it really set them back.
Well, Coach Glover said that the team just never really could answer the call when Gardendale got up a couple scores. They couldn't get up off the deck, and he was a little disappointed in that. This week, they better get up off the deck because they've got ClayChalkville, going to ClayChalkville to play. How do they regroup for this game?
Well, it's going to be difficult because ClayChalkville is so good. Some people might say, well, was Pinson Valley looking ahead to ClayChalkville? I don't think so. I just think in their league, you can't do that. They ran up against a good Gardendale team. This week's not going to get any easier. They're going to play quite possibly what could be the best team in the state when they run up against ClayChalkville. So I don't know what they'll do this week in terms of practice and what they'll change, but they better get prepared because they're in for a real battle.
Well, it is a rivalry game, and Pinson historically plays Clay very, very tough. It's going to be a tough ball game for them, but that game is at ClayChalkville Friday night.
Well, it's one of those games, Zach, you don't have it is a rivalry game, and so I don't think Coach Glover will have a real problem getting his team up, getting them excited about it, because it's always exciting to go across town and play your rival in ClayChalkville. So I think they'll be ready, but they're going to face a really good team.
All right, when we come back, we'll have the players of the week, and it'll be prediction time. How will our area teams do this week? We'll talk about that when we return.
Jefferson Memorial Funeral Home and Gardens is home-owned and operated by the Seal family. I've known Eddie Seal and his son Adam for over 25 years. They're community-oriented and, more importantly, good folks who know how to take care of people in their time of need. That's how Jefferson Memorial became Trussville's funeral home and cemetery. Jefferson Memorial is located at 1591 Gadsden Highway. You can call them at 322-0543. Before your need arises, let Jefferson Memorial family take care of your family.
Gunnar Oil would like to invite you to visit one of their 3 stores on Deerfoot Parkway. Both Shell locations on Deerfoot offer delicious Hunt Brothers Pizza, one at Highway 11 and the other at Old Springville Road, which was a BP and now has a fabulous new look customers need to see to believe. The Chevron at Happy Hollow Road features mouth-watering pop donuts that are delivered fresh each and every morning. A proud supporter of the community for more than 20 years, offering quality products at a fair price in a clean environment with friendly and efficient service, Gunnar Oil.
And now it's time for Tribune Sports Live Players of the Week. First up is Bailey McElwain. The senior defensive end, otherwise known as the Bull Shark, kept the Vestavia Rebels offensive line completely off kilter for the entire night with decisive hits on key plays that completely shut down the Rebels offense. Next up is ClayChalkville cornerback Amari Holloway. He grabbed his second interception of the season in the closing minutes of the first half and returned it for 60 yards for the score. The score that gave the Cougars complete momentum going into the break. And finally, Pinson Valley's Player of the Week is sophomore wide receiver Lee Allen Daly. Daly caught a season-high 4 passes for 75 yards, including a big 23-yard catch in the second quarter, leading the Indians to a touchdown. Congratulations to all of you. This has been Tribune Sports Live Players of the Week, brought to you by Gunnar Oil. Whether you're looking to buy your first home or you're trying to sell the one you're in now and need advice from a realtor, turn to Lee Marlowe, Realty South Realtor. Contact Lee today at 205-913-9559 or visit Lee at leemarlowehomes.com.
Well, I thought the other night we handled the lightning delay well. I was glad to go through that. Any kind of challenges you can have early in the year you can refer back to. So that was a good thing. I thought we played okay. I thought we managed the game well, especially when it was continuing to rain. We handled it offensively like we needed to, and we didn't put ourselves in a bad position to turn the ball over to give a team like Huffman a chance to get into the game with us. So I was proud of the kids. I thought it was a fun night. Everybody on the team got in the game, so that's always good. Well, in all honesty, you know, I'm just like the hundreds of other coaches in the state where, you know, we've practiced our craft for a long time, and you have to have the right opportunity and the right group of kids athletically to come through and the right administration. All that has to line up. I mean, there are probably a bunch of coaches that could be doing exactly what I'm doing today. So I consider that very fortunate. I did know from being here when we opened the school that, you know, this is a football place and they like football here. So I felt like you could do some things. You certainly were going to win more than you were going to lose. But to take it to this level where you're in the top 15 in the country and, you know, got all these things happen to it, it's just real fun and exciting. The 19 games, I told the kids, that doesn't really matter to me, because if we lose the next game, we're going to come in on Monday and do the same thing we've been doing for the other 19 Mondays. So it's just really a fun time to be a kid at ClayChalkville, and it's fun to coach them. Well, Ty's a phenomenal football player, and you know, where he burst on the scene in some people's eyes, you know, we've had him here, and we knew he was a great athlete. He broke his collarbone in the 10th grade in a JV game, so he missed the majority of that year, played a little bit in the playoffs and mop-up duty. But not a whole lot. But you could tell, you know, he had the big arm, he got great athleticism, and then the question became, can he refine himself as a quarterback and then understand the different kind of levels of reads that we want to go through? And as the season went on, he got better and better and better, where he actually ran less than he did early on in the season. And now he's in that new area of being the well-known guy that the other teams are kind of planning for. So he's having to adjust to that right now, but he's done a good job. You know, all we ask of Ty is to play your best like everyone else and take care of the ball. Just make great decisions. The rest of it will take care of itself. Well, you know, we got T.J. Simmons, who's committed to Alabama, and Nico Collins, who's a, you know, whatever kind of star they put beside him nowadays. And then, you know, we got Dez Williams that transferred in from Pinson, and that is a solid football player. I mean, he runs the best routes of any of them, and it's just a winning kid. So those three guys all have, you know, their roles in our offense, and the thing that separates them is at any point they can catch the ball and go for a touchdown. So not a lot of teams have one of those, much less two of them, you know. Well, you know, I think the key, we lost Terry Brown, one of our two returning players. We lost him against Hillcrest to an ACL. But he and Nick Battle showed great leadership. But the kids that really, you know, was unexpected from the public view would be kids like Cole Baker and Kyle Cobb and Cutavius Barber and Amari and Amani Holloway. They've all been through the program. So now it was their turn. You know, when you're this level of a program, if you're playing 10th graders every year, there's something wrong. You know, you need to reload with your seniors that have been part of your program. And that's what we try to be like. And I think I told everyone, I think our bodies are finally back to the positions they need to be and not having to play kids out of position. So, you know, we didn't play well against Hillcrest, but that was my fault. We were overemphasizing some things, and we let a very good running back cut back on us all night. It was just hard to get them out of that. But we corrected it last week. I thought we played lights out, and we're looking forward to trying to hold Pinson under 50. Well, you can throw whatever they've done before they play ClayChalkville just out the window. They always play spectacular against us. I'm not really sure why that is. It is the way it is, but we expect, really what I expect the place to sell out because it's such a huge rivalry. And they'll get over the loss after a day or two, and they'll get back to their fundamentals, and they'll come out, and they always have a unique scheme defensively for us, so we really don't know how they'll line up because they play us differently than they play everyone else. But it'll be exciting football. We're finally back at home, and so, you know, we hope there's some opportunity for just some great football out here Friday night.
Paul Davis Emergency Services of Northeast Birmingham helps by providing needed cleanup and restoration services. Through the appropriate tools and processes, we avoid wasting valuable time to get your property to its previous state as quickly as we possibly can. Through our experience with restoration services in Birmingham, we can determine the necessary services depending on your property and type of damage, which may include smoke and fire damage restoration, water damage restoration, wind damage restoration, and mold removal. Paul Davis, Recover, Reconstruct, Restore. 205-687-0556.
All right, it's prediction time. So, Alan, we'll talk about the Hewitt Huskies first. At home against Spain Park. Let's go back to last year. A marathon game. 5 overtimes, I believe. The Huskies win on a missed extra point against Spain Park. This year, Huskies probably a little bit better than they were last year. Spain Park still, I think, trying to find themselves a little bit. Your thoughts on this game?
Well, I think it'll be another classic ball game. Hopefully, it's not another 65-64 game like it was last year. I look for Hewitt Trustful to come out quick. I think they'll win the game. I pick Hewitt Trustful to win 31-17.
I'm with you on that one. I'm going to take the Huskies. I'm going to go a little bit more, 38-21. I think the Huskies are just too much, and everything's working so well for them offensively right now. I just don't see Spain Park being able to match scores with them.
Right.
All right, Pinson Valley at ClayChalkville. Pinson, tough loss. We've already talked about it. Clay getting some things righted defensively. They're an offensive juggernaut. What do you think about this one?
Well, Coach Glover's a good coach. I think he'll get the Pinson Valley Indians back ready this week. I look for them to rebound. I look for them to play a lot better. It still won't be enough to take care of ClayChalkville. I pick ClayChalkville in probably a little closer game than most might expect. I pick ClayChalkville to win 38-28.
I'm going to go with you again on this one. I like Clay in this game, 35-21. All right, that's our show. We'll be back next week. For Alan Taylor, I'm Zach Steele. Good night, everybody.